to help our race survive. I know it's about your family and your loved ones. I know that. I know that because I am a loved one and I have loved ones. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But you have to think about the future, the big future, not just your family, not just what's going on with your family. Guess what? Your family ain't the only person going through this shit. Your neighbor probably going through the same shit you're going through. Because 9 times out of 10, in the black community, it ain't nothing but black people. It ain't nothing but black people. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a neighborhood right now. I bet you 70% of this neighborhood I'm in right now is black.
I want to hear Kids comment. Go ahead, Key. Did you forget?
Listen, no, I didn't forget.
Okay.
I be forgetting shit.
No,
I drink too much.
I totally agree with what Kevin's saying.
I got the white people's
I was talking
drug.
to somebody, I had this conversation with somebody. Matter of fact, I think this was yesterday.
Talk louder, because we don't got the mics. Make sure they can hear you.
Okay, I'm pretty sure they can hear my loud ass now.
No, you're not that loud, actually.
Yeah.
But I was talking to somebody, and he was like, man, I'm getting tired of talking. You know what I'm saying? He was like,
time for action.
No. He wasn't even going. He was
That's
like, all people doing is talking about it.
Right.
He was like, I'm getting tired of doing this. I'm getting tired of.
So what do we need to do?
His mom was a part of the civil rights leader. This is somebody in Oklahoma City.
Right.
You know, part of the civil rights movement here. And he just said he getting tired of people being inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? We always talking about it. But earlier when I was saying, well, what's the way to go about doing it without actually having physical action? Without actually shooting somebody? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't stressing on my point of view, but I was talking about from his perspective, what he was saying.
Yeah.
You know, honestly,
I love y'all, man.
I love you too, Chris.
I love y'all.
It's family. LabelUsKnot. Thanks for coming in and tuning in with us tonight, man. Shout out to everybody that's been commenting tonight, everybody that's been tuning in. But man, it's gonna take more than a force of action. And somebody else, my brother, man.
What is we gonna take then, fam?
Look,
we know what it's gonna take.
You just gotta be out there, and you gotta be one of the doers, man. You gotta be the one out there making money and striving. So your voice, you make sure your voice get heard.
Hold on, I don't agree with that because you know something. Hold on. They've been teaching us. Hold on. The world has been teaching us that our voice do mean something, but it really don't. It really, action is what means something.
So you still reverting back to what you said.
Yes. Our voice don't mean shit, fam.
We
marched all the way to we marched all the way to Montgomery, man.
Hey, look, cuz, go ahead and read your
comment, we marched all.
Comment. That's for you. You want me to read it? I got my glasses on. I believe Kevin has a brilliant mind and very deep. Don't change. But don't let your right hand know what the left hand is doing. Man, that's perfect. Real talk.
You gotta elaborate on that.
No. I can elaborate on that. When she's saying don't let your right hand know
you can never know what she's saying.
No, I know what she's saying. I clearly don't let the right hand know what your left hand is doing. Do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? In order to do it silently, and then when it comes,
but I'm talking with my fam. though. I'm talking with. I understand. I do understand what she's saying. Like I'm saying too much, but at the same time, who gonna say it? Who gonna say it and who gonna do it?
Real talk.
People say it all the time, but people don't do it. They don't back up their words with their actions.
The thing
is that what she's saying?
I just told you what she was saying.
But the thing is we need to.
And you just elaborated on what she said.
Yeah, I did. I believe that, but me honestly, I do have the voice. But I know I have the voice, but at the same time, I don't have the power behind me to back up my voice.
She's saying what she's saying is, if I'm saying this correctly, Tiffany, do what you need to do, handle your business now, and then when it comes time, when you're able to be on that type of platform, speak.
No, I'm gonna speak now.
Here's my thing though.
Not talking now, but when you have a time.
Thank you,
to
Tiffany.
Tell action.
It comes back to what I said earlier, man. When Kev said, "What are we doing about it?"
I like how
we have to.
Thank you.
We have to pick our battles. And as we pick our battles, and I'm not just talking about us as an organization.
Yeah.
I'm talking about us as a culture. We all have to pick our battles, but in doing so, we all have to come together. Everybody has to fight something within the body. It's like when you go to church. They like to call the church the body of Christ. They like to call the church the body of Christ. When we come together, there is nothing that we cannot do. If everybody choose their battles and stick to their guns, and we have that networking system, there is nothing we can't do. The Jews did it. The gays did it. So why can't we do it?
Exactly, I agree with you.
The thing is us. We're too proud. Everybody wants to. Everybody wants to. Everybody's raised. Everybody wants to come up. They want to raise their family. They want everything to be inside of their family. But the thing is we cannot do that anymore. We cannot be inside of our families.
What's wrong with keeping it in the family?
No, nothing.
Because when you keep it in the family, you're teaching your kids, you're teaching your kids' kids.
There's nothing wrong with keeping it in the family. But what I'm saying is what's wrong with hooking up with other people? Like back in the Malcolm X days, back in the Martin Luther King days.
Well, of course you're going to hook up with other people, but you're going to teach your family first. We don't.
We don't.
And like you said, it's a pride thing. It's a pride.
Hold on. I agree with you. Hold on. I do agree with her because it do have to start with the family. You do have to teach your family that there is value in companionship.
I'm saying
there's value there.
I'm saying that's where it stops though. It doesn't go outside of the family. It needs to expand. Yeah. That's the point I'm getting at. We need to talk. We need to get with other brilliant minds, like you said. Yeah. We are a brilliant race. We need to get with other brilliant minds. Mm-hmm. Anybody who's not willing to be
lay down.
Huh?
Anybody that's not willing to lay down and
accept
that bullshit.
Anybody who's not.
I don't know. Have you ever been in that situation like where you had to like choose between capture and freedom?
Capture and freedom.
Yeah.
Elaborate on that.
Like have you ever been in a situation where like you had to like, hey, am I going to be locked up for this amount of years or am I going to be free?
I have not.
I have.
I have not.
I have, and it's not a good feeling. And
unfortunately, I've been blessed by God not to be in that situation. I have been blessed by God.
You have been blessed by God, but at the same time, it was your choices that led you not to do that shit.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was your parents' choices.
I had a grandma who made sure me and my older brother was brought up in the church. She had us most of the time. So I was, for those who don't know, I was Betty Newton. That's my grandma. I was raised by her.
Where was I raised up at?
Your grandma.
I was raised up in the church. Mm-hmm. I did all that stuff, but
the thing
that didn't save me.
I just want to make this point though. What I'm saying is the people who are not willing to get out and network, they just need to be left behind. Because there's no room for it, huh?
I was 17 when it happened to me. You know what I mean? I was young. I was right there in between. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So some kids, because at that age you're still a kid in your head.
Right. Yeah.
Some kids don't have that option. Some kids just go with what they know.
Go with what they know.
You know what I'm saying? And what you know is usually what you become.
Yeah.
And if you become that, what can you do to change that? Like if that's what you've been taught all your life, what you see all your life.
Okay, but here's my thing though.
Thievery.
Here's my thing.
Murder. All that bullshit. If that's what you see all your life, 9 times out of 10, that's what you're gonna become.
And I agree with that. No, I agree with that.
Because
I do.
Because there's a saying that
it's like the same thing.
It's like this.
You bring the environment
when you're
that
being
you
raised
grow
up
up in, that you're raised in.
It's like this. When you're being raised up, you have to go to school. Do you not have to go? Do you not have to go to school?
Yeah.
If your parents tell you one thing and you go to school and you learn something else, you're not the only influence in a child's life. So what I'm getting
I
at
don't agree
is
with that.
So what?
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because you should be the strongest influence in your child's life.
But
The strongest.
But
Did
you're
you
not.
hear what I said?
But you're not.
But you should.
How many times do you hear about kids getting bullied at school?
I said you should be.
But you're not. I'm sorry
But
to
you
say.
should be. You should be. You should make that a major priority.
Here's the thing.
If I had a child right now,
here's what I'm getting at though, Kevin. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that you. No, it's not a bad thing that you're not the only influence because you talk. Because you talked about.
Bullied,
because you talked. Because you
That's
talked.
bad. That's a bad influence.
No, you missing me. You missing the point. It's not about being bullied. It's not. It's not about being bullied. The thing that I'm getting at is it's not a bad thing that you're not the only influence in your child's life because, like you were saying, if you was brought up a certain way, if you was raised a certain way, then that's how you're going to be. But if you have different influences, you learn different things from different people's views, from different people's vision. No, it doesn't make you confused. It makes you awake. It makes you.
As a child,
I see things.
As a child. I'm talking about children.
How many times?
I'm not talking about a 17-year-old.
As a child, how many times have you done stuff that you weren't supposed to do?
Plenty of times.
And what did it teach you?
I'm a 2-time
felon. And what did it teach
Plenty
you?
of times.
And what did it teach you?
As an adult?
What has it taught you?
Plenty. Don't do the shit.
That's my point. That's my
But
point.
that's as an adult, bro.
But you learned as a child. But you learned as a child. And you carried it over into your adult life. It's not a bad thing. How do you think we're able to sit here and talk about the things that we talk about? If we was just raised,
I don't agree with that.
If we was,
I don't agree with that.
If we was brought up one way,
that.
if we was brought up one way, and we was one way, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We would not be having this conversation right now.
Look, hold on, fam. Hold that thought, fam. I swear to God, hold that thought, because I think I know what you're gonna say. But look, you was raised up one way. I was raised up 3 ways.
No, I wasn't raised up one way.
You just said that.
Do you think my mom and daddy was together?
See, you're not listening to me. I was raised by my mama, my grandmother, my grandfather, my auntie, my cousin.
My grandma.
I was raised up multiple ways.
My grandma was the main influence in my life. She is not the
one way.
She's not the only
one
person,
way.
But she's not the only person that in my life.
I don't think anybody has one particular influence. Let me
That's what I said. That's what I told you.
No, but let me speak from my point of view because y'all sitting here and had this conversation.
Fuck you.
Okay. Hey, we had our hour too, but look, check this out. Y'all no.
We had our hour. We gonna cut it off. Somebody got it.
Look, one person is not. They can't.
But I understand what you're saying, bro. I just grew up different, man. I didn't grow up like Kia. I didn't. I grew up nothing like her.
What's that?
And Kia, you know I didn't.
What
you know I didn't. I didn't grow up with my mother.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I didn't grow up with knowing who my father was.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
I didn't grow up like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not blaming that on why I turned out. I'm not saying that's how I turned out, why I turned out. I'm Kevin because I'm Kevin. This is the way God made me.
No, you good.
You know what's coming. You know what's coming. Do not call while we podcasting. This motherfucker.
Is that what that is? Is that what that music is?
There we go. Hey, we got our hour, y'all.
Y'all tune in with us next time, y'all. I'll be easy.
LabelUsKnot.
Girl, you better turn me in on my damn friends. I know that.
Somebody nurse.
Don't end it. Let's end it and then you know that.
It's journey for your life.
I ain't gotta be at home till 12. We can go back home for 30 minutes.
Some losses in this game, but it's
We gotta get you out of the yard. It's my first time taking to the yard.
Yeah, you gotta go work in the morning.
made it out the hood,
You gotta
but
work
still
in the
Hey, we
blessed.
got the grass to cut.
We blessed. Hey man, I salute anybody.
LabelUsKnot.
Y'all be easy, you too.
Do anything.
Hey, LabelUsKnot.
Oh
Line
shit,
care
we was on
service.
YouTube too?
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I said we was forgetting about YouTube.
But it kept cutting off. YouTube kept cutting off.
Is that what that was?
No,
No, that was
that's
Facebook.
Facebook. YouTube kept cutting off.
Well,
but-
we'll run the video
Time for
back.
some better
Hey,
internet.
y'all know AT&T stuff.
Girl, I'm gonna bite your motherfucking
Y'all be
face off.
easy,
Hey, LabelUsKnot, man. Y'all check out the LUK Line Care Service, man. Y'all need y'all grass cut. Supposed to start off at $30.